The box office results are in, and it's another glorious victory for Gru and his minions as Despicable Me 2 took the #1 spot for the second week in a row with almost $45 million. The Adam Sandler sequel Grown Ups 2 took second place with just over $42 million, and the Guillermo del Toro film Pacific Rim came in third with $38 million. John, 6 months ago, looking at this weekend, many would have predicted an easy walkaway win for Pacific Rim. What went wrong?
Yeah.
What happened?
I remember it was about a month or two ago, I started telling people, look, Grown Ups 2 is going to beat Pacific Rim when it came out. And people, the names that I was called was unbelievable. But, it's just... It's kind of the same situation when people want to talk to me about a Batman Beyond film or a Teen Titans movie or something like that. And I try to tell them, look, I know you and every one of your friends in your circle, this community that you dwell in, all watched it, but nobody else did. And if you make a Batman Beyond movie, nobody's going to see it. And I try to explain that to people. And the same thing happened when I first started telling people like a while ago that, look, Grown Ups 2 is probably going to beat Pacific Rim at the box office. They started saying to me, no, you don't understand. All my friends are talking about it. We're all going to go out and see it. Everybody I know is going to see it. This thing's going to make $100 million plus opening weekend. Not so much. I still think, we've talked about this before, I think the major flaw that came in the marketing for Pacific Rim, because the movie is flat out awesome. I've already seen it twice in theater. I'm going to go see it 2 or 3 more times. But the major flaw in it is this. It's this big spectacle thing, yes. Let's draw a comparison to the Avengers for a second, and let's really look at the differences. But when you looked at the trailers for Avengers, even people who didn't know what the Avengers were, a comic movie, when they saw the trailers, they saw fun. They put a lot of the humor in the trailers. They had some of the levity in the trailers. They put things in it that were likable to the general audience, as well as the big glorified action. We saw Hulk jumping from building to building, all that kind of stuff. With the marketing that they did for Pacific Rim, even though it's got some really cool comedic moments and some really nice charm to it and all that kind of stuff, right up until the week before the movie came out, we saw none of it. It was just giant monster and giant robot, failing to realize that's really going to impact me. Yeah. You got me with that, but you didn't get my mom with that. You didn't get my cousin with that. And that's all they showed over and over again, these big, huge hulking monsters, and that's just not what's connected with most people. Throw in a little bit of Charlie Day in those commercials, throw a little bit of Ron Perlman in those commercials doing his thing, and I think you have a much better result. But this to me is the biggest box office tragedy of the year. Yeah. It really is, because this is a film that deserved more. Look, people are always asking and complaining. I'm sure you get this on your site too. Why doesn't Hollywood make some more original films? Yeah. Why don't they do things that have never been done before? Okay.
And then those come out and then they tank.
And then people don't
because
go see them.
Everybody goes to see something familiar.
Yeah.
They go to see the sequel. They go to see Despicable Me 2. And I'm not knocking that movie by any means.
Right.
It's family. It's accessible. Grown Ups 2. Come on, guys. Really? You're the ones who are complaining about Grown Ups #1. Why are you going to see Grown Ups #2? You know, it's just it boggles my mind. But Pacific Rim, yeah, you're completely right. It's a marketing disaster. Go big with the robots and the monsters, and then you have to educate the people about what a Jaeger is. You have to educate them what a kaiju is. Throw in some Charlie Hunnam. Girls I know love Charlie Hunnam.
Oh, they do.
They love that guy. Play up to the sex appeal. Play up to the humor. Play up to the human element. And they started doing that like a little too late. With those 2 new trailers they debuted like a week before the
movie
came out.
Which were really good, but you're
Great
right,
trailers.
too little too late.
Yeah, it was just a little late in the game for that stuff because that stuff was playing on the websites and playing on our respective sites. But it wasn't playing in theaters. It wasn't playing on TV, So they messed up. They messed up big time, and it really kind of sucks because you're right, Pacific Rim is terrific.
And one of the biggest tragedy of all this is still to come, and that's that not only can we all forget about a Pacific Rim sequel or whatever? If we throw that out the door, I think this closes the door permanently on Hellboy 3.
Well, I don't know about that because Hellboy 3 is one of those movies that has endured and succeeded on DVD and home video sales. It's done really, really well for the studio, from my understanding. Not just in theaters, but it played the way it played in theaters, but then it was one of those movies that just found its audience on video. And you know, I mean, like that. There was that point where there was the kid who was part of Make-A-Wish, and all he wanted to see was Ron Perlman in Hellboy makeup.
And
that got so much press, and so many people came out to talk about how great Hellboy was. I don't think it closes the door on Hellboy 3. I don't think this is going to close the door completely on Pacific Rim future. Maybe not necessarily in film, but maybe in video games and comic books, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Pac Rim did make a ton of money. You know, well, not a ton of money, but it made like $100 million over the weekend, just worldwide.
91 worldwide.
Yeah, 91 worldwide. So I mean, it's still a little bit ways to go. It probably won't make back what they really were hoping for.
Well, let's put it this way: this movie needs to make worldwide. It needs to make $400 million just to break even.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long.
Yeah,
way
but
to
I
go.
don't think Legendary. I mean, Legendary. When I talked to Tom Toll, you know, he really liked the property, and I don't think they're just going to close the door on it as an IP. I mean, there could be. I would love to see some comic books. You know, I mean, if I can't get a movie, I'll buy some more graphic novels because the prequel graphic novel was pretty great.
Yeah, it was. Did you get that case?
I did.
I'm going to show you the case sometime. I'll bring in the case and I'll show you.
Oh, you mean the gut case?
Yes. Isn't that
I
great?
didn't get that.
If you like this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and we bring you all the latest movie news as well as our daily AMC Movie Talk Show. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter, where you can find out about all the latest prizes, giveaways, and special contests.